We're going to start over again.
Yeah, so
Call to order.
I'll do roll call. Chairman Nelson,
Here.
Vice Chair Short,
Here.
Director Kelly,
Here.
and Director Gregorio.
Here.
Okay. Now we keep.
Do we want to do the flag salute again?
Yep.
Joe?
It's on the picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We got one on the patch board up here too.
We
Whoever
need to
need
put
it.
our little one back in there.
On the patch board.
Okay, item 2, we have no public participation out there. Item 2, report of any actions from closed session by the board of directors. And we don't really have any action yet, so.
Nothing to report out of closed session.
All right. So we'll move on to item 4. I guess we skip over item 3, public participation. And we
No,
have no public.
no public.
So item 4, consent calendar. Item 4.1, approve minutes of the regular meeting of November 8th, 2021, and special meeting of November 18th, 2021.
And it's, since it's the consent calendar, you can read both 4.1 and 4.2 together.
Okay, and item 4.2, approval of warrant claims for period covered November 2021. Do I have a motion to approve of those?
I make a motion that we approve of the minutes and the warrant for November.
I second it.
There's been a first and second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item 5, is new business. Do we have any new business? It says we have none.
Nothing at this time.
New business, obviously, though, we'll want to put some things on the agenda for.
Yeah, we can do
Do
that
that
during
at the
board
bottom.
comment at the end.
Okay. So then we're gonna move on to item 6, old business, take action as necessary. Item 6.1, review and approve amendment to tower and ground space lease from New Singular Wireless and AT&T.
All right. So as you're aware, Crescent Fire Protection District was contacted by New Singular Wireless to place a generator on the east side of the precast concrete equipment shelter out here off of the back lot. It'd be on the east side. And to carry lines to the AT&T prefab equipment shelter on the west side of the fenced area. They want to be able to install a generator on the site location. And after work back and forth between the board and the company, looked at going to a 3-foot wide by 18-foot long section on the east side of that enclosure to be added for the installation. There were 2 options that were looked at. The board chose to go with that option versus out in the back lawn. After consideration at the November 8th, 2021 meeting, the board requested Frank Shabaram to take a counteroffer back to New Singular Wireless and AT&T for consideration. Request was to allow the proposed 3x18 area on the east side of the current enclosure to be fenced and a generator installed. Further, AT&T would provide security fencing to the east side of the rear lot with manual gate and provide a $250 per month increase to the existing rent. Mr. Shabaram had returned a draft agreement, memorandum of understanding, and plans based upon the request as approved by AT&T. The board is requested to review and approve the agreement, amendment, and memorandum as provided. With approval of the draft First Amendment to Communications Facility Lease Agreement and memorandum of understanding, the board will allow AT&T to utilize the specified 3-foot by 18-foot space to install an emergency generator, and district will receive a rent increase of $250 per month and a security fence with manual driveway gate along the east side of the rear lot. And they included as attachments we've got under attachment 1 is the First Amendment to Communications Facility Lease Agreement. Item 2 is the memorandum of First Amendment to Communications Facility Lease. And then the third attachment, he combined both of those plus the site plans so that you could see how the plans look, how they lay out. In reviewing the plans, there wasn't any kind of an issue that came up from a building or a fire code stance. And so with that would be to consider and take action on the agreement if the board sees fit and appropriate.
Have any discussion from the board?
So with that 250 increase a month, what is our total that they're paying us for?
Gosh, what was it again? Like 1,300 and something, right? Because right now they pay 1,106
Yeah,
around there plus the 250.
so like about 1,350,
A month.
and then it's subject to the
3%.
modifier or the 3% modifier annually.
Per year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
per
Yeah.
year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because
good.
we wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that we got it under that and not something separate.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
Any discussion on that for what they're gonna pay? I just thought it was better to take a monthly fee versus a one-time fee. Because hopefully they're gonna be here for a long time. It's gonna make a lot more money for us. It's not like we need the money right now anyway, so.
I think that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
I thought it was great that we had a great negotiator last month when we had our meeting.
Yeah, Joe, you would have been proud of Jim.
Oh, you're the guy that missed the last part of the meeting.
So anyway, do we have any discussion on that?
Proud of you.
If not, I think what we need to make a vote on accepting this. Is there a motion to accept it?
I make a motion that we accept the new lease rent agreement.
Okay, motion's been made.
Second.
And second, any discussion? All in favor? Does this need to be a poll vote?
No, sir.
Okay, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. And, let's see, we see staff take public board discussion. I guess we can discuss that. Item 7 is the chief's report.
Yep.
Take action as necessary. Chief, it's up to you now.
All right. So the first item on there is just, it's in your packet, is responses that occurred for the month of November. And there were 41 responses within the city limits and 71 total responses within the district. Total of both was 112. And our numbers, we're seeing it. I know Director Gregorio sees it from putting through with the changes that we made at the start of last year. Our numbers are down quite a bit. We're in the 1,500 going on 1,600 call category versus at this point, we were coming right up solid on 2,000.
Right at 2,000.
Yeah. So we've seen us going to appropriate calls, and we've seen us going to, cutting back the calls, so we're not going on the wasted calls.
Right.
The waste taxes our people and waste our resource.
So the sheriff's office is trying to do a little bit better job then?
They're trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it, I mean, as you can see on the numbers there with the medicals for the
Yeah.
city versus the district, those 21 medicals ran in the city limits and 32 within the district. And I think one thing that we've done as the chief
Yeah.
has mentioned is kind of cut back on our medical responses, and it continues to improve. So that's been a pretty big improvement. And then as far as responding to when the call comes out, the chief or the duty chief has
Yep.
the authority to either respond or put them on standby. So we've had quite a few cutbacks on responses, which I think it's really shows on the numbers and reflects
Yeah.
on what we're doing, that we're managing a lot better. And also, you don't see 3, 4, 5 fire trucks respond to a call.
Right.
It's managed
Yeah.
quite a bit better, so it's a huge improvement. I think we,
That's a big thing.
I think-
That's
I
where
think
I've got
so. We
most of
listen
the
to our
heat from the
community.
public was, why do you
Yeah.
have so many engines rolling on?
Yeah, if it makes sense, okay, have one rig come in, everybody else stay available and stand by. And, the folks overall seem to be doing a pretty good job with it.
Yeah.
I got a couple quick.
Oh, go ahead.
One, you had 9, no incidents calls, 7 for the county and
Yep.
2 for the city.
Yep.
And also, the motor vehicle, are we still,
We got another
Applying
truck
for
the
that
other day
insurance?
for
And we got a
400 something dollars.
a little bit more the other day, so,
oh my goodness.
and we're working to try and get them to where they'll cut the check to us, to Crescent City Fire and Rescue, because then if we do it that way, we can route it to the city or the district easier. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So a little here and a little there. We get a lot of turndowns, but once in a while we get a little triumph.
Now, how do they get the bill? Is that something you submit to them,
We-
Vanessa?
I've been doing it. I'm gonna go through with Vanessa and on what I do, so that we've got a solid pass on with that as my time comes to an end. And, it's literally, it's taking the report that the duty officer puts in, pulling that information. I reach out, quite often I'll reach out to Larry Deepy at CHP and impose, like, if we didn't pick up the insurance information. Or, because there's a lot of times
Right.
CHP doesn't have that when they're clearing us off a scene. So we can follow up there and he can help us get that information so that then we can put it in appropriately.
Right.
And yeah, it takes some legwork, but once in a while we see a little triumph on it and we see something come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll pay, hey.
yeah,
It'll pay Joe
All adds
one
up.
weekend.
yeah, you bet. And then under 7.2, 2x2 committee meeting, and we talked a little bit about that previously. What I was gonna bring was, if the board desired, I'll continue to push. I did hear an offer to convene the old 2x2 committee on the city side, but I don't think that really gets us where we need to be, because you guys are gonna be up to speed as the 2x2 for the district. We get the next 2x2, provided it doesn't go forever. We get the next 2x2, but then if they have any changes to it, now they got to re-educate them again. Now, I suppose they could do that internally to bring them up to speed on what's been discussed at the meetings, and we could at least get it out there on the table and at least start, because if they're able to seat a mayor next week, probably the soonest, I think their first meeting in January is the 10th.
Right.
And they would have to make the appointment then, and then we're trying to set a meeting up. So we're the second half of January by that time when we get to our first meeting. So if the board desires, I can at least try and get one started with their old one to at least get the discussion started, if you guys want to do that.
Time
Is
is of
Isaiah
essence.
even on the board anymore? I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Come up lately.
Yeah,
Is
current,
Greeno not the mayor anymore?
what's that?
Greeno's not the mayor anymore?
Yeah, Greeno is, they pick a new mayor every year.
Yeah.
And so
Kind of.
it'll be one of the
For
5,
4 years.
it will be mayor if they can get them chosen after Monday night.
Right.
And currently in score and Isaiah Wright are on the 2x2. And they've been on the 2x2 for a couple of years, and that could change possibly as well.
I think with with our ad hoc committee, I think we ought to, send them a letter and kind of lay out what we're looking for, so they're not surprised. 'Cause
Right. I agree.
And then after that, I think once we send that letter, I think we ought to, hopefully by then we'll have that 2x2 committee set up, and then we can at least
Be off to the
go in there
races.
too. Here's
Yeah,
what,
because otherwise it's gonna stall a bunch of time, because it's gonna go, wait a second, we haven't.
Well,
put any-
They haven't done anything or, yeah,
we're gonna get schedules together and figure out when we can have the ad hoc.
Yep.
Good.
you bet.
So
That'd be a
you're
good-
wanting to
that'd be a good
wait,
First step.
send the letter in the meantime and then wait for the new 2x2 members to be,
well, I
appointed.
think what we need to do is we need to send a letter up first that, you know, if they're
Get your
starting the
attention.
process.
If they're discussing it
the
or
chief,
talking it.
We'd like to be
Yeah.
part of
Know we're coming.
that. And then we also need to let them know that we're gonna be sending another follow-up letter on discussing the upcoming agreement that we have some changes that we'd like to
Yeah, some
discuss.
things to talk
Right.
about, yeah.
So at least that kind of gives them, you know, two warnings is that one, you know, we want to be part of the process. And
Mhm.
two, we have some discussions within the agreement that we need to talk about. So at least puts them in place that, you know, we're not going to
Yeah.
surprise them. At least they should be
I agree.
expecting.
I agree.
I'll ask the board if, because we won't meet until January again as the board, the ad hoc will meet along the
Yeah.
path. But if for whatever reason, they don't have 5 members there, they don't end up seating a mayor on Monday night, this coming Monday, do you want me to push then to at least bring the 2x2 together as the old group, or let's wait until the
I think if we can
end of
send,
January?
I think if we can, today's Monday, if we
Yeah.
can get this letter drafted and send out
Yeah,
and let them know what our plans are, I think, you know, then we need to meet with our ad hoc committee and then they'll send them a letter back. I think that'd be the right work, because if we meet with them, we're gonna be going back and forth, wasting
Yeah.
our time, and their time.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good. Then we'll hold off with the push on the 2x2. But if they are discussing the recruitment or any components tied with it, district board wants a seat at that table. They want a voice.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that sounds good.
And then moving on, I've got a couple of letters that came in correspondence. This one, December 8th, 2021, to the district board, or to the Crescent Fire Protection District. This is from Elizabeth Freeman. And she put in bold letters, paid under protest, Crescent Fire Protection District assessment on property tax bill to CFPD board and fire chief and other parties of interest. I am paying under protest $74 of the CFPD assessment listed on my 2021-22 property tax bill. That is the $74 assessment that was added to my tax bill after the recent weighted election. I look forward to a refund of these funds when this assessment is declared no longer valid. Elizabeth Freeman. And then to go along with that, we received from Linda Sutter an initiative measure to be submitted to the voters. Please find enclosed with this letter a copy of a proposed initiative measure and notice of intent to circulate petition for an election within the county of Del Norte. Please transmit the initiative measure to the attorney for the Crescent Fire Protection District for a title and summary pursuant to California Election Code Section 9203. I am the proponent of this measure and registered voter at the address shown below in the county of Del Norte and live within Crescent Fire Protection District. Along with this is a signed proponent affidavit required by Section 9608 of the California Elections Code. And this was the one that our attorney said, well, she cited the wrong code, and so he's sending her a letter back. She listed a series of bullet points, one of which, while having fire protection is important, this tax was not thought out very well. This tax has no sunset clause, but it does have a cost of living increase built in. It also contains language to pay 3 fire chiefs and 1 captain, all with 6-figure incomes. And then the bottom or the last, which was inaccurate.
Live, Joe.
And then the last, they go through a series of them here. And then the last bullet was, we have learned from the Citizens Oversight Committee that the $25 million school bond does not protect the taxpayers' money. The Illinois Unified District is currently under investigation by an outside organization. Findings substantiate that the Oversight Committee was not operating in an independent and legal capacity since its inception 12 years ago. Problems with the oversight committees continue throughout the area. And
What's that
so,
got to do with us?
bingo,
She's mixing up the
Yeah.
school bus and fire truck.
I'll pass that around, and we can, after the meeting, we can email that. And then the last letter that I had, and this is one that I mentioned, that I gave to the city manager, was my notice of intent to retire. And I said, please accept this letter as my official notification to you of my intent to retire from the position of fire chief at Crescent City Fire and Rescue. My last day of work as fire chief will be Thursday, June 16th, 2022. The date I've selected has personal significance for me, as June 16th, 2022 is my 35th anniversary in the fire service. When I came to Crescent City Fire and Rescue as interim fire chief on April 9th, 2018, the plan was to fill a very large pair of shoes for a 3 to 4 month period to assist the department, the city, the district, and community with helping to keep the fire department and its members supported as a fire chief recruitment was developed. In that period, we all began to learn and know each other. I had the opportunity to begin building relationships with the fire department members, the city team, the district board, county, and many community members, and to see the pride and professionalism of each. I was allowed to stay on as the interim fire chief as we collectively accomplished and developed a 10-year fire department master plan. Thereafter, I participated in the fire chief recruitment process and became your permanent fire chief in February of 2020. Since that time, we have continued forward and accomplished so many things, including passage of Measure S in the city and the fire district assessment, both of which support the 10-year master plan and the many items identified to maintain and improve response and service from the fire department. We have also worked our way through the unknown of a global pandemic like nothing anyone has seen before. I credit much of the fire department's effectiveness to the professionalism and dedication of the members of Crescent City Fire and Rescue. These members were willing to embrace changes to personal protective equipment that kept our firefighters responding and our community served. These same members respond day in and day out to all manner of emergency incidents to keep our community and its citizens safe, and I'm proud to serve with them. I put a lot of thought into my decision to retire. I wanted to provide adequate notice to allow the city and district the time to develop and conduct an effective recruitment process to select the next fire chief to lead Crescent City Fire and Rescue forward into the future. Ultimately, I'm making the decision to retire so that I can spend more time with my wife and family. As you know, I have split my life between Crescent City as fire chief and my home in Eureka, and as it did not work to move my family here. My wife and I hope to travel more and enjoy new adventures together in retirement. It is my hope that I can assist with the recruitment as you see appropriate, and to assist with the transition when a new fire chief is selected. We still have a number of projects between now and my last day, and of course, I'll continue to work with you all in the team and respond with the members of this fine fire department with pride and professionalism as we serve our community. Thank you for the opportunity you have given me to serve this community. Sincerely, Bill Gillespie, Fire Chief. So,
We'll let you know in June if we accept it or not.
okay, sounds good. But no,
I was
it's,
gonna
you
say,
know.
you just got back from Hawaii, whatever you want to
No, definitely,
Let's move
you know, definitely feel humbled and feel honored. And a big piece of it not only was with the fire department and the city, but being able to work through with all of you here on the district board. It's important that you know, the district is able to carry forward and have its voice as well, as it's a big piece of this community. And there's a lot of history here in the community. And there's a damn good fire department that's tied to both the district and the city. And definitely proud to have been able to serve and to continue to be able to serve for a little bit longer.
That's nice. Had we had other choices, we probably would have made it, but.
More than likely, you know, and there would have been no offense.
Yeah.
Heck, you could have had a guy living here, some
Just wanted
gypsy
you to
that,
know, you know,
yeah,
we
some
didn't have
gypsy
much
that goes
choice,
back and
so.
forth. But no, so my last day that I plan to have feet on the floor will be the 16th. And then I'll be effective with PERS on the 17th.
Vanessa, when is that? I don't even know if we had it last year. We're gonna have a firefighter.
We're hoping to have one before he leaves, yeah.
That's what yeah, okay. I was just thinking.
We're
we need to
shooting
do
for
that
May.
before he
We're shooting
goes.
for a date in May for an
Before we do
annual
that,
dinner.
make
And
sure
gold
we show
watch
up.
thing, try to find a picture, would you? Have a gold watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and I
And a
mean,
door don't hit you in the butt.
yeah, and that's, I mean, one thing we need to kind of go back is what we used to do with the, with the volunteers and really have a awards,
Yeah,
not kind of what we've done in the last.
yeah,
on the, so, but we really
yeah.
appreciate what you've done and continue to do here, Bill, and, it's a unique department here, as you see and.
Oh,
been
yeah.
here. So, we do appreciate you and what you've done, so. we'll-
Yeah, and sure
Take a look
appreciate
on
you
that,
guys
so.
from a lot of different directions.
But don't
Yeah.
come back when you leave.
Yeah, well, I'm still talking about coming up and crashing an occasional, association dinner night.
You
Yeah.
will be missed.
Well, it's mutual, guys.
The one thing I wanted to bring up was, we've got some of our equipment for sale, the fire
Yep.
truck
I was
and
gonna
so on.
bring that up myself.
Yep.
I was approached by Cape Ferrillo that they would like to possibly purchase the water tender and our 4x4 rig that we bought here a few years back.
Yeah,
And I was talking to the chief earlier, I think if we ask about 22 for both of them, I think that's would be a fair price. We paid 7,000 for that 4x4 rig there a few years back. We made some pretty
Lot
good
of-
money with it.
a lot of
on
work put into
standby.
it.
A lot of work was put into it. The water tender, we've had it for a number of years. We really haven't used it, because of everything else that we have. So I think, if we could get at least 22, I think would be a good number
When
for
you're
it.
saying 22, you're saying 22,000 or
Yeah.
2,200?
22,000.
and
Mind you, we just
they're
bought
they're
two,
very interested.
yeah, we just bought two trucks here, just recently for quite a bit less than that we could. make it
Now,
work, so.
do we need to go to bid on that? To be legal?
I think if it's another fire department, I
Right.
think we do.
We can,
I mean, I think.
yeah, I
don't.
think we can
Right.
do a sale transfer.
Right, because it's another
Yeah.
volunteer department.
Did we approach that lake over there about the jet ski?
Yep, and that discussion's ongoing.
Okay,
They are interested in it.
okay.
So I think that would be,
Yep.
I think it'd be nice to get rid of that tinker without it costing us money.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've worried about that thing for years, man.
yeah. And the plus with it, one, they're a fire department, and two, it's Oregon.
so.
So they don't have the California Air Resources
Right.
Board requirements
Right.
on engines either.
Yeah, 'cause I think we're really limited what we can do with that thing otherwise,
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
and we haven't used
I
it
mean,
in a number of years.
it served us well.
Yeah.
When we.
Yeah.
When it came.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So,
And then we'll get 14 out there at Birch. We'll get that stripped down so that we can advertise that. If we don't hear anybody that's interested, we can put it out on Gov Deals.
Yeah.
All right. Item 8, board comments. Any comments? Anything else?
Anybody going tomorrow night
To what?
here,
Oh, to the dinner?
whatever they got going here?
It's just our association
Uh-huh.
Christmas. It's just the firefighter gift exchange thing. I mean, you can come,
You're
but we
welcome to
didn't
come
count
on
for
in.
gifts for you.
I put it in my phone because I was asked to last time. And I was making the point, I'm not a real sociable guy. Well, you gotta come to this. I'm hoping.
Come to
But I
something.
mean, I honestly think that it does good for the volunteers to see, some of our board members and,
I'm not interested, if they're doing a gift exchange, I might, we might kind of be out in the way. 'Cause I'm not gonna do something like that.
well.
Which Rick did come to our kids' Christmas party, so Rick, thank you for coming and bringing your
I appreciate
grandkids.
all the hard work you did for that, and my grandkids had a good time.
Good.
I had my 3 little ones.
So, I mean, there's food here and there's,
Yeah.
us here, so.
Camaraderie.
You can make it, you don't have to be here all day, but it'd be
Yeah.
nice
Tomorrow
to see.
night, tomorrow night,
Yeah.
guys? I thought it was just the first of the month.
This
No.
is just a special once a year thing we do.
December's a little different.
Yeah,
Right on.
Yeah.
For sure, I'm coming in January.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's folks here,
Yeah.
what they're doing, they're prepping food for
Yeah.
tomorrow evening.
And this is, we do get a big turnout of the volunteers, especially tomorrow.
Yeah,
And then in January, we have.
It's fun.
Phoenix
So-
Light, So,
So what I'm concerned about at this point, okay, am I showing up? Is it gonna look like, well, what's he doing here? Because
Just
he's
come
got
for the mingling part.
gonna
You don't have
look
to stay
like
for the
that.
gift
Yeah.
It's
exchange.
gonna look like that.
just come and
anyway.
talk.
just come and talk and have a couple snacks and then you
I'm
can
gonna say,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
bring your checkbook.
Merry Christmas,
We
everybody.
could dress you up as Santa Claus and you could be the one to put the gifts out.
I
No,
just
I
think,
do that for kids. I'd love doing it for kids, but I'm
No.
Not for
interested.
adults.
It's
Yeah.
always good when the firefighters can have some interaction with board members. And part of it helps them meet and learn and understand who the board members are.
Well, I just realized I didn't know who that woman was in there cooking.
Yeah.
well, again, and
And
that's.
I know a lot of the guys, I'll chat with them when I.
Right.
see them.
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean,
didn't know
that,
her.
I mean, this is no different than the business.
Yeah.
We have a board, we have our firefighters and so on, and it would be good to, at least.
Rub
see who,
elbows once in a while.
yeah.
What time?
That's always
what
good.
time
Well,
is it
well,
then?
if we can't do anything else, we could come and brag about giving them a $5 raise in the last.
We haven't done that
You
yet.
haven't done it yet, though.
In
Don't
the
tease
last
them.
20 years.
Don't
Well,
tease them.
I'd still like to look at that. It's like more like 15 as our problem. But that's something we'll look at.
What time's
later.
tomorrow night? Is that at 5? 5 or 6?
I
I
would
don't know.
say you could come at 5. I think that we probably want to do the gift
There'll be
exchange
folks
till
around
6.
here.
About 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pop in, say hi.
Okay.
You're invited
All right.
if it works out.
Do I have an emotion for an adjournment?
I make a motion.
Second it.
It's done.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Wow.
Am I
Jim is
confident?
slipping, man. He usually didn't wait for that second, for that thing. to
No.
happen.